Imagine a world where food never spoils, where your pantry shelves are filled with items that stand the test of time. Sounds like a scene from a futuristic movie, right? But it's not as far-fetched as you might think. In fact, certain foods can last indefinitely, making them perfect staples for any pantry, and especially useful in times of emergency or unforeseen circumstances. Now, you might be thinking, sure, canned foods last a while, but what else? Well, you might be surprised at just how many different types of food can be stored indefinitely. We're not just talking about a few months or even a few years. We're talking about foods that can sit on your shelf for decades, always ready to provide sustenance when you need it most. But why is it important to have a stockpile of food that never expires? For starters, it's always a good idea to be prepared. Whether it's a natural disaster, a power outage, or even just a busy week when you don't have time to shop, having a pantry filled with long-lasting foods can be a real lifesaver. But it's not just about being ready for emergencies. Having a stockpile of non-perishable foods can also help you save money. Think about it. Instead of buying fresh produce that might go bad before you get a chance to eat it, you can invest in foods that will stay good for years. You'll waste less, and you won't have to worry about constantly replenishing your supplies. And let's not forget about the convenience factor. With a pantry full of foods that never expire, you'll always have ingredients on hand to whip up a meal. No more last-minute trips to the grocery store because you've run out of something. No more settling for takeout because you don't have anything to cook. In this video, we are going to delve into the world of non-perishable foods, revealing 11 items that you can store indefinitely. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be amazed at just how long some foods can last. Welcome to the world of the immortal pantry. Let's kick off with some pantry staples that might already be in your kitchen: canned foods and dried beans. Now, these humble food items might not seem like much, but they're veritable superstars in a long-term storage situation. Canned goods, for example, are a godsend. Think about it, they're already cooked. They come in their own storage container, and they can last for years on a shelf. The longevity of canned goods is due to the canning process, which involves heating the food items to kill bacteria, yeasts, and molds that could cause spoilage. From canned beans to fruits and vegetables, these are foods that can stay edible for a very long time, providing you with essential nutrients when fresh food might not be available. And let's not forget about dried beans. These little powerhouses are a fantastic source of protein and fiber, and they can last indefinitely when stored correctly. That means keeping them in a cool, dry place away from sunlight. And the best part? There are so many types of dried beans to choose from. Kidney beans, black beans, garbanzo beans, the list goes on. Each type brings its own unique flavor and nutritional profile to your meals, providing variety in your diet. But remember, longevity isn't just about the food itself. It's also about how you store it. Keep your canned goods and dried beans in a cool, dark, dry place. Avoid areas where the temperature fluctuates, as this can affect the shelf life of your food. And while canned goods can last for years, it's a good idea to rotate your stock, using the oldest cans first. With these two food items, you've already started building a pantry that defies time. So next time you're grocery shopping, why not add a few extra cans or bags of dried beans to your cart? You'll be investing in your future, ensuring you have a reliable food source no matter what comes your way. And that, my friends, is what we call peace of mind. Moving on, let's talk about 3 more items that have an impressive shelf life: rice, honey, and salt. A pantry without these staples is like a bee without its buzz, a chef without a recipe, or a ship without a compass. Let's start with rice. A true wonder of the grain world, rice is a versatile food that can be the star of your meal or the supporting cast. White rice in particular is a pantry powerhouse. When stored in a cool, dry place, it can last for an impressive 30 years or more. Its cousin, brown rice, has a shorter shelf life due to its natural oils, but it still holds strong for about 6 months to a year. Now, let's sweeten things up a bit with honey. This golden delight doesn't just taste good, it also has an indefinite shelf life. Thanks to its low moisture content and acidic pH, honey can be stored forever. It may change color or crystallize over time, but don't let that alarm you. A quick bath in warm water will return it to its liquid gold state. Finally, let's dive into the world of salt. This humble mineral plays a crucial role in our diets, not just as a flavor enhancer, but also as a food preserver. Salt has been used for thousands of years to keep food fresh, and when stored properly, it too can last indefinitely. These 3 items not only last, but they also provide essential nutrients and flavor to your meals. So next time you're at the store, don't forget to stock up on rice for your hearty dishes, honey for your sweet treats, and salt for that extra punch of flavor and preservation. These pantry heroes are not just for the culinary inclined, but for anyone seeking long-term food security. Remember, a well-stocked pantry is not just about quantity, it's also about quality, diversity, and longevity. So don't just fill your shelves, fill them wisely. Stay tuned for more food storage tips. Until then, happy prepping. Next on our list are powdered milk and dried herbs. Powdered milk is a real gem for long-term storage. It's a good source of protein and calcium, and it can last for several years if stored properly. Just keep it in a cool, dry place, and you've got yourself a dairy alternative that's always ready when you need it. And then we have dried herbs. These little flavor powerhouses really stand the test of time. They retain their flavor and potency for a long time, much longer than their fresh counterparts. Whether it's basil, thyme, rosemary, or oregano, dried herbs can add a burst of flavor to your meals, even in the most challenging of times. With these 2 items, you're adding nutritional value and a burst of flavor to your immortal pantry. The best part? They're compact and easy to store, making them perfect for maximizing your storage space. Wrapping up our list, we have 4 more items that won't let you down: pure vanilla extract, pure maple syrup, vinegar, and hardtack. First up, pure vanilla extract, a darling of bakers and dessert enthusiasts. This sweet aromatic liquid is derived from vanilla beans and has an impressively long shelf life. When stored properly, it can last indefinitely, retaining its unique flavor and aroma. It's a fantastic addition to your pantry, adding a touch of sweetness and depth to your culinary creations. Next, we have pure maple syrup. Now, this is not to be confused with its less refined counterparts. Pure maple syrup derived directly from the sap of a maple tree can be stored for a long time, especially if unopened. Once opened, it can be refrigerated and used for up to a year. It's a delicious natural sweetener, perfect for pancakes, oatmeal, or even savory dishes that need a touch of sweetness. On to vinegar. This is a real all-rounder in the kitchen. Not only does it add a sharp, tangy flavor to dishes, it's also a great preservative and cleaning agent. Best of all, vinegar can be stored indefinitely. Just ensure that it's kept in a cool, dry location and tightly sealed when not in use. Finally, hardtack. This simple, unleavened bread was a staple for sailors on long voyages and soldiers in the field. It's made from flour, water, and sometimes salt. Hardtack can be stored for years, even decades, and is ideal for emergencies. It's not the most palatable food in the world, but it's a reliable source of carbohydrates when options are limited. With these items, you add sweetness, versatility, and a reliable emergency food source to your pantry. To recap, we've covered 11 food items that can be stored indefinitely, creating a pantry that's ready for anything. We started with canned foods and dried beans, which are both long-lasting and nutrient-dense. Then we moved on to rice, honey, and salt, staples that can last for decades if not forever. Powdered milk and dried herbs followed, providing essential nutrients and flavors that can stand the test of time. Lastly, we delved into pure vanilla extract, pure maple syrup, vinegar, and hardtack. Unique items that not only add variety to your meals, but also have an incredibly long shelf life. With these foods in your pantry, you're prepared for anything. You're ready for any unexpected situations, be it a natural disaster or a sudden lockdown. And remember, food security is not just about survival. It's also about maintaining a balanced diet and enjoying what you eat. So stay safe, and remember, a well-stocked pantry is a happy pantry.